Rasul ulul amri minkum. And always a reminder for myself, ana abdukal ajiso da'ifo miskino zalimu jahal. And but for the grace of Allah that we're still in existence, and the immensity of the people of light, and their religion is a religion of love, and the greatest love is the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. The rules, the dogma, the scholarly fatwas, all are a means in which to perfect good character and akhlaq. The rules themselves, they're a means in which to achieve good character. It's not the end, it's not the purpose that Allah load people up with rules, that you step this way, you step that way, you ate like this, you did like this, you said like that, you didn't say like that. But the purpose of these rules were to develop good character. This good character is supposed to have a love for the Divinely Presence. قُلْ إِنِ كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ. This is the quantum, kuntum, this is the secret of light. When Allah is guiding through Holy Qur'an to Prophet eternally, not from this dunya but for all of creation in the world of malakut. Qur'an is for the world of malakut that governs the entire created universe. Allah didn't send just for this dot in the middle of a galaxy in the middle of nowhere. You can't even see it when they look from the Hubble space. That Allah would waste His speech for this earth, but this is a divine speech for all of created creations that govern the angels and the throne and everything within the heavens. And from that ancient Divinely speech, قُلْ إِنِ كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ. Tell them, Sayyidi Ya Rasul Kareem, if they want my love, fattabi'uni. An ancient decree from the Divinely Presence, fattabi'uni. Follow the King, obey the King, love the King. The King for all. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below. The programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Created universes, Malik al-Haqq al-Mubin. This is an ancient decree that what was the first thing created, and this hadith al-Jabr where Prophet described to the companions that, my light, the light of your messenger was created. Before Adam was before clay and existence. So means this is the ancient realities of light. Fatabi'uni, then our life will be gaining the love of Allah. Fatabi'uni yuhibbukumullah. If you successfully followed the best of creation, then Allah grant you love and Ghafoor Rahim, and I forgive everything. Everything. Because the purpose of our existence was fatabi'uni, so that we gain Allah's love. What was the purpose? Memorized books, became obnoxious scholars that now ridicule and attack people and attack each other. This is the purpose? that Allah wanted, or to kill one another based on what we believe is correct or incorrect, or was to have good character. Khuluqul azim. What Allah describes of Prophet, you are of a magnificent character. The generosity, the compassion, the love and the good example and good character. And awliyaullah come into our life to remind us all of these rituals have a much greater reality in a timeless reality. But mankind, whether they think they're scholars or alims or whatever they think they are, or people, they're forgetting they came from the world of light, and their teachings become more dunya oriented, very like it's only for this earth, and that it's not even for the hereafter. And this is what we call the external scholars. They lose sight of paradise and light, they lose sight of their eternal reality, and they become very external, and the mani and the teachings make no more sense. And a great divide begins to open with the people of light and the people of external understandings. Every ritual in our life and every example from Sayyidina Muhammad was for a much greater reality. We can never lose sight of that understanding. Every step we make has something to do with our eternal reality. These are not just rituals you perform, and then external scholars say, if you didn't step with the right and you didn't wear this and you didn't have this and you didn't do this and you did this, it's right and wrong and negated. But they don't even understand that every step, what was its reality in paradise, and every step what was Allah granting to your soul for all of eternity. Because they don't know malakut, and they think it's just physical things we do, you didn't do it right, oh it's all negated for you. And they even make judgments when Allah is the only one who judges His servant. When the nation begins to forget their paradise reality, then nothing makes any sense anymore, and people run from dogma because of a bunch of ridiculous rules that it's like, what? And then people begin to turn on to the scholars of light, and which teach that everything is a waseela. Where Allah when we described in the surah the night before, seek a means in which to approach me. Everything is a waseela. Everything you do is a means in which to receive tabarak and blessings from Allah. Every step. Even the mosquito that bites you is a waseela, because Allah took something away from you. Because everything is His servant. Not a mosquito can come to you and have permission to bite you that it was not decreed by Allah. Does it sound silly? That Allah He governs the mosquitoes? Or do you think anything can move outside of Allah's dominion? Outside of Allah's command? That the mosquitoes are free to fly where they want? Even now we have what we call swarm drones. Why are we replicating that? We can make drones that go up in 500 and they swarm. The drones will go all by themselves in different directions and based on whatever they want to do. Why are they understanding that? To understand Allah's command. Not a thing flies, not a thing moves that has not been under the command and guidance of Allah. As a means, it's a waseela. So he said there used to be bed bugs, and awliyaullah teach that this bed bug was under the command of Allah, in which you had cells that were not right. It would come to find because it's a servant of Allah, and bite you exactly in the cell that is necessary to be bitten, to take away something from your physicality and your reality. And the harm, the bite, the bleeding, whatever happened to you happens to you, Allah took away a sayyat. And most likely that creature granted you blessings because it took away many sicknesses. Then you look when the dirty filthy people, they had so much badness, they say, oh we're infested with bed bugs because they're dirty. And Allah sent all these creatures to clean His creation. Wasn't by accident. The swarm was sent from the heavens. And those European countries, oh we're infested, throw the mattresses out, they were burning all the mattresses, never thinking an eternal message. These creatures of God have come to clean you. Every cell of you is filthy. And it's Allah's grace and rahmah that He clean you now and not in the grave with harshness. This is the way of Islam. These are the realities of Islam. Everything in this earth is a means in which to receive Allah's blessings. Then we come to Safa and Marwa. Because Safa and Marwa is not something like you go jogging. Oh this is very hard, my feet hurt, and you put nice comfortable shoes, you go jogging, or somebody now comes and carries you from here, then they give you a cart that you can go back and forth. So I accomplished this, I come back home I get a trophy. Zahiris they tell you, yeah if you did it wrong, you did it like this, you were at a fast pace, you were at a slow pace, like it's a marathon, we're jogging. What's malakut teaching us? This was a symbol of your life. Safa and Marwa is your entire life. It is your struggle. When you look to people say, he has money, oh he got a degree, or he got this and he got that and I don't have, or why this happened at work, why this happened in my home, why is this like this, why? Our whole life is about struggling. That's all that Allah cares, is you have to struggle in my way. My believers, my creatures whom want to be under my dominion, in your heart and in your mind you should be struggling on this earth. Not unsuccessful but struggle. Everything's a difficulty, life is a difficulty, home is a difficulty, work is a difficulty, just trying to hold it all together is a difficulty. Not Allah angry with you, but that's your Safa and Marwa, not the $20,000 trip that you took and you ran back and forth and think you completed it. It was a waseela. It was a means in which to understand, Ya Rabbi my whole life is like Sayyidatuna Hagar. I'm just running and I'm running and I think, where's the Nasrullah? When will your support come? When will difficulty stop? When will the opening open? And every movement in our life is Safa and Marwa. Until the day in which Allah grants, and can be many days in which a difficulty after difficulty comes ease and grants an opening, looks to the character, and you are Sayyidatuna Hagar because she represents the purity of soul who's a captive. Isn't that the soul? Your soul is captive in the oppressor that you call a body. If your body is good, your soul is blessed. If your body is bad, your soul is under punishment and azab of the oppression of your physicality. Just like Sayyidatuna Hagar. So she's symbolic of the soul, and our soul has that gentle nature from paradise. in which everything you're struggling, your soul is suffering on every step in your life. It seems to be a difficulty, Ya Rabbi, when will success come? And she hit on the seventh time. And what happened when Allah granted success to His servant? The Kawthar opened. What you call Zamzam is the symbol of the Kawthar. Kawthar is the fountain of Sayyidina Muhammad because who Allah granted Kawthar. Inna ataynaka al-Kawthar. It's Prophet's fountain, not ours. So then who will be granting you? When you struggle in the way of Allah, everything directs us back to the love of Prophet. Well, I'm satisfied with your struggle. And it's not just once in your life, but every time you struggle with good character, you don't lose your demeanour, you don't become belligerent and attack and fight and every type of craziness, because Prophet doesn't reward craziness. It's paradises, khuluqul azim. As a result, Prophet begins to open his Kawthar upon the soul of these servants. This is his gift given by Allah. That's what Sayyidatina Hagar received. She had the light of Nur Muhammad. This is not the light of Bani Israel. Sayyidina Ismail is Hashemite kingdom coming to earth, not Bani Israel, and was to be fed and nourished from Malik al-Haqq al-Mubin. And through her struggles, what opened? The Kawthar for him. The Prophet granted these Zamzam and Kawthar to begin flowing for all of humanity. Now it's flowing, to be nourished and blessed by that reality. We go from the knowledge of awliyaullah, these 7 Safa and Marwa, for the external people to understand everything is spiritually happening. Don't lose sight and get into the dogma of the physical. Your shoelace was not tied properly, therefore it didn't count. It's not about that trip that you took. It's about your entire life is a hajj to Allah until you pop into the grave, either by old age or Allah take you at any moment. Your hajj now is complete. What did you bring into that grave? InshaAllah, we'll go by one inshaAllah. These are the 7 springs of Safa and Marwa. In our life, our entire struggles will begin to open these realities upon the soul inshaAllah. First,
the first level of heavenly springs from among the 7 is conducted by angels, specifically created and assigned by Allah to inspire the actions of His servants.
So as you're struggling, Allah will make angels come to give isharat into your heart, because Allah loves the servant whom struggles in His way. So struggle is not a curse. Don't talk bad in relationship to Allah. Why Allah did this to me, why Allah did, until one time a hammer hits your head and Allah says, enough with you. You talk very bad about me, you think very bad about me. So tariqah comes to teach adab, don't talk like that, don't even think like that. Allah loves His creation and especially the ones whom He guided to the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, and they just don't know why they're here on earth. But your life is Safa Marwa, and the first spring that awliyaullah are describing in your struggles, Allah will begin to give angels that inspire and give guidance into the heart to make the decisions that are correct. Then the second spring that Allah begins to open into the heart of the servant.
The second spring that reaches Allah's servant is conducted by another type of angel, which makes him aware of what he has achieved in order to progress to a higher spiritual level. This is why sometimes people find they are in a bad situation that they deeply regret, and suddenly that situation leads to what we call faraj, a positive opening for them in their lives which brings them happiness.
When they inspire, they begin to inspire all the good ibadat and worshipness. So when does faraj come? At Fajr. Faraj, Fajr. So people say, I have difficulty, I have difficulty, I have difficulty. Well, when are you going to get your faraj and salvation? And the angels push into your heart, pray your Fajr. So I can't wake up, Shaykh. Force yourself to wake up. Drink a lot of water so your sleep is never that deep. And Fajr, Tahajjud, Salatul Najat, everything in the wazifa of the tariqah is based on faraj. All the words that you're reciting from these awliya is to have salvation. Because why? Maqam al-Mahmud is open. Sayyidina Muhammad al-Mustafa, Sayyidina Muhammad al-Mahmud alayhi salam, salatu salam, is what? The doors are open at Fajr, in which everybody is approaching the reality of Prophet ﷺ. At that time in your sujood in Salatul Najat, you're asking for salvation, for things to be opened and difficulties to be closed. 3. The third spring in our life, when we sort of get the system and understand that we're going back and forth.
The third spring is different. On the Day of Promises, when all things were atoms in the Divine Presence, when Allah created your essence, your secrets, He also assigned you to the care of your murshid, who guides you through your internal states into the role you are destined to assume in this life and in ways to improve yourself. The murshid knows what inspirations the angels bring to your heart, guides you to the best outcome, and removes your confusion.
What was 38:29 from Holy Qur'an? Ajnay was 38:29. Ashad, you read 38, Surah 38, verse 29.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كتاب أنزلناه إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياته وليتذكر أولو الألباب صدق الله العلي
I
العظيم.
have the translation, better one than that. Sadaqallahu al-Azim wa barakta Rasul Kareem. What we said, why is that alam al-Qur'an khalaq al-insan. You have been created and Allah taught the Qur'an upon your soul. Every creation has Qur'an written upon their soul. This is what makes the soul of creation to be noble and blessed, all souls. If the body is a kafir, if the body is taqut, it has nothing to do with the soul. The soul is created from Malik al-Haqq al-Mubin and purified light of the Divinely Presence. Then what Allah giving in Qur'an of guidance, that this scripture, this kitab that we have revealed unto you Sayyidina Muhammad, this is not here on this earth. This is Allah speaking to Prophet in an ancient reality of light. Not here, Allah is not talking from earth. But when Allah decreed the Qur'an, which we have no understanding of its time and its reality, it's not even created, Allah's Divinely speech. And that Allah is giving an ancient decree to Prophet that this scripture, this kitab, whom you are the kitab and that we have revealed unto you, full of blessings, that they may ponder its revelations. Dabaru, which our teachings are all what? Tafakkur. Qur'an was to be pondered, not read fast and then give opinions. Are you from the people of Dabaru? And are you from the people of Tafakkur, whom their whole life is to ponder Qur'an? Why? It's written on your soul. If you don't know your soul, you don't know what governs you. But who knows this reality? Then Allah said, the men of the gate, they remember. They remember its understandings. Look how they changed the translations. تَذَكَّرُوا ulul albab. So it means that what? The Qur'an is for you to ponder, but none know it but the people of the gate. They say men of understanding, but Allah is very specific, no, these are the ulul albab. So who are they? Seek them out. It's not you. Who are they, the ulul albab? That their life is tadhakkir. Tafakkur was you stopped and contemplate, dabbaru, contemplate. Tadhakkir, remember. Remember what? Remember Allah addressed you with this on the Day of Promises. Didn't He tell you on the Day of Promises, Alastu rabbikum qalu bala, am I not your Lord? And have I not decreed everything for you? In the world of light Allah told you exactly what you were supposed to do upon this earth, and that I will be sending you upon this earth, and what you're supposed to be accomplishing of realities, experiences. And we said, Bala, yes my Lord. Came onto the earth and said, absolutely not, I don't remember anything from that, because this is the abode of ignorance. But Allah describes, no, there are a category of awliya and they're the ulul albab. What? They guard the gate. Who guards the gate? When Prophet wanted to give us an understanding, he said, I'm the city and Sayyidina Imam Ali is the gatekeeper, Babahu. So it means that there must be a love for Imam Ali and must be a connection with Imam Ali and that you must have been trained with Imam Ali. Why? Because he is the master of ulul albab. If you can make a reference that he's not, I'd be astonished. Because we know that the Bab is the Lam Alif and the Zulfiqar. And that's why Prophet put Imam Ali gave him his Zulfiqar, because he's the master of La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah, and gave the decree of that sword as a waseela. It's not just I gave you a sword to fight, but eternally you will guard this gate for the men of understanding. And these men are tadhakkireen, whom what? They continuously remember what Allah has decreed for them, what Allah has dressed upon them. Then the next struggle in life that opens is what? The fourth spring.
The heart palpitates and the murid catches on fire. At this level, the fourth spring reaches him and he begins to receive heavenly blessings, because he received from the angels of the first and second springs from the murshid at-tazkiyah, following the awrad and sunnah, resulting in Allah's mercy descending on him.
Because they're now with a guide, they have to have been with a guide the whole time. And all the teachings, the zikrs, the awrads that they're encouraging everyone to do. Why? So that every time they do the awrads, every time they follow the system, then these dressings and blessings are dressing the soul of the servant. At the same time they're struggling. People say, I asked something and it's not taken away. Or you didn't reach the seventh spring, why would Allah take it away now? Who are you that it takes away when you want it to be taken away? They say that in Hagar what got the Zamzam on the first round? Because everybody has something that they think is something wrong. But Allah said, I gave you a struggle, why are you not trying to complete your struggle? You're trying to throw it like it's an outfit you don't want to wear and you just want ease. but I had not going to grant you ease right now. Your life is struggle, struggle, struggle until you reached to all these tajallis. Do you feel these tajallis? Do you feel like your heart is lit and you heat up? Then you know, okay, I'm drinking from the fifth spring, or I don't understand what the heck the shaykh is talking about. So then maybe you go back to the first spring. If you do, you feel heated, you feel you do your zikr, you do all these askars and all these things and you feel energy. Then keep struggling. What's the sixth spring, inshaAllah? Oh, you didn't finish also. What was the… or on fifth spring, inshaAllah.
The fifth spring comes to him every Thursday and Monday in the association of awliya Allah. Every murshid spiritually presents his followers and their actions to Sayyidina Muhammad.
The importance of connecting, watching live, being in person with the zikr is why. Because as soon as you attend the zikrs, those majlis are immediately in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. And the shaykhs are presenting all whom are present from wherever they are. They connect their hearts, they attend the zikrs. Those zikrs are all in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. Because you be with whom you love, and those whom have this love and this ishq, all their zikrs and khatams are in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. That's why the importance to attend from home, attend from wherever you are, so that you don't miss being presented in that reality. And we described, if they don't understand, the people of light, too bad for them. These dimensions have no understanding. As soon as Hajj starts, Prophet is sitting at the Kaaba, the whole majlis is in that presence. The world of light is not something to be understood that, no, it can't be. Yeah, it can be. They can overlap the entire place to be there. And the day of Arafat, the whole of Arafat is appearing in the middle of the room in the world of light. Allah immediately moves these lights. This realm of light cannot be understood, but the people lose sight and they become so materialistic. But they think, no, they're following Islam, we're not materialistic. You are if you're zahiri, you are if you think from physicality, and you limit Allah's greatness. This world of light, nothing that can be even imagined. All of a sudden you're doing zikr and you're in front of the Jabal Rahmah, the mountain of Rahmah. Is that something hard for Allah? Because you have a love and your soul immediately is there saying, labbaik, labbaik. And if awliya are involved, they'll make the whole of the majlis appear into that reality, because their love carries them into the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. And the love of all whom love them, like a lock, their souls moving. And that's why Allah tests people whom are with shaykhs. Allah sends, hey, why are you with that guy? He's not a good guy, he's not this, he's not that, he doesn't know this, he doesn't know that. To think, maybe, okay, you're right. Because Allah wants to show you don't really love him, you don't have a lock, and that's why you don't feel anything. But if you've been tested and tried and you went through all the processes, your lock's so strong that what? These three jamarats are coming after you. It's not something you were throwing a stone and you don't even know what the stone was. That I followed the decree like Sayyidina Ibrahim and I found my guide, and shaitan come to you and say, oh, he's going to sacrifice you. He's going to test you hard, he's going to take everything from you, you're not going to have anything in the end. And then what? You have to throw the stone at shaitan until your soul has a sakina and a trust. And then he'll come to your soul and your soul will say, get lost. We're already very connected. My body has given everything in that way. I'm so invested in this process, you're not going to shake me. Now that soul has sincerity in the lock and the love until what? They reach maqam al-ihsan, in which Sayyidina Ismail's reality comes and says, you find me to be patient. Why was Sayyidina Ismail patient? Sayyidina Ibrahim couldn't see that How can I slaughter my kid? I'm not going to pass that test. Sayyidatuna Hagar, what? It's going to be okay, Allah will resolve this. Allah loves us. The soul always comforts the body. Say, you don't know what you're talking about. Allah loves us. Why Allah going to get difficulty? But yaqeen was, I can see there's not even a sacrifice coming, don't worry, He's giving a goat. Because the yaqeen is important. Why Sayyidina Ismail is telling his father, don't worry, you be patient. Because maqam al-ihsan can see. What was the definition of maqam al-ihsan? Worship as if you see Allah. That child saw, and so there is no knife, there is no slaughtering of me, Allah is going to give a goat. Just let's go, don't be so worried. Right? So you fall and say, oh I'm worried, I'm worried, I'm worried, until your soul becomes strong and says, stop worrying, Allah loves you. Then your maqam al-ihsan comes and says, I can see the light and what Allah is going to open for us. Let's go, let's go. 6.
Then Allah inspires the murid to reach the 6th spring. At this level, when the murid begins to recite Holy Qur'an, Allah's ancient words, Allah assigns a tajalli for each letter, word and verse, which goes quietly to its target, the murid's heart, where it affects change. Without that tajalli, there is no change. One can read the Holy Qur'an day and night and interpret what they read according to their limited understanding, take wisdom from it and even become enlightened.
But the 6th spring, what happens? When the students that connected, they say, Alif Lam Mim, the Alif dresses the soul, the Lam dresses the soul, the Mim dresses the soul. Infinite capacity of knowledges are being thrown into the soul by the angels. And that's why if they speak, it's not something that people have even understood, and they're limited on the ability to speak because of people's capacity to understand. And if they don't achieve these springs in their Safa and Marwa, it wasn't about the shoes being properly and running accordingly, it was a spiritual Safa and Marwa. And if they never got to that 6th spring, no matter how much they read, they're not going to have that ulum. They get the barakah of the lights of the Holy Qur'an, but they don't get the illumination within their hearts of its haqqaiqs. So that's why they're missing out and they become agitated and aggravated with these knowledges. 7th spring, when
Allah allows them to reach the 7th spring, through which He opens the secret of the essence of their birth, the spring of innocence. Prophet ﷺ said, a child is born in innocence, maqam al-ihsan.
Fitrat al-Islam. That when Allah find acceptance in the servant, they struggled in every way, and all this struggle is because their love for Sayyidina Muhammad. Every time they became angered and they have a power in which to cause extreme damage against people, for the sake of Prophet they stand down. They could use their knowledge and they stand down. They take humiliation and insult and difficulty and they stand down for the sake of Prophet. So ask awliya when they understand the deen is based on the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, it gives you the good character. If you don't have that love, you open your mouth like a lion, like a not even lion, like a creature. You open every type of aggression thinking this is your right. It's the love of Prophet that withholds, and they struggle in that love for the sake of Prophet so that he will be happy with them, nazar be upon them, and that the kawthar to open upon their souls and that they become kawthari. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa bi siri Surat al-Fatiha. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.